A nice career for Penn State, but this year he seems to have taken it to a different level. Is that a byproduct of not having Newble there, and how has he grown as a player?
Well, his game's completely different. He's just stand out at the three-point line and shoot. And he can still make threes, but he's scoring inside. He's rebounding the ball better. He's making plays for other people. He's been really impressive.
Fran, you guys are on the cover of Sports Illustrated. You've gotten a look at it. What do you think, and what are your thoughts?
I think it's great. I'm really happy for Jared in particular, but for all the guys to be recognized at that level.
What does it say about the program? I mean, here on the most prestigious magazine in the country.
Well, I think it's a reflection of what they've accomplished. I think you always want that to be the case for your guys. When you see them working as hard as our guys work, you want to see them recognized properly. And so I think it's a terrific honor. Great respect for that publication, and we're happy to be on it.
Something like that, a magazine cover to the rankings, is that something maybe you appreciate more after the season's all over?
Probably. I think that's probably a good way to look at it. I mean, you don't really want to stop and think. You just want to kind of keep going and try to keep getting better. It can be a distraction at times, but I think our guys are kind of used to the intensity of what it's like to play in the Big Ten. It's different. You get a lot of attention no matter what. It's great when it's for a positive reason like this, but all you really want to think about is, okay, how are we going to beat Penn State? That's all you really want to focus on right now.
How have they handled the distractions, the extra ones this season?
So far, I think extremely well. It probably because they've been asked and answered everything possible, because most of the guys that you're talking to are upperclassmen. But I've been really impressed with the young guys too. I think they've handled it well. They've been real mature. Certain guys have gotten a little more publicity. Nicholas and Ahmad, Dom, Brady, all those guys have produced. So they have to be in a position to answer questions and talk about it. And I think they've had good perspective. I think they've been humble. And I think that's what you want.
As a Sports Illustrated in the rankings, does that help in recruiting, or is that overblown?
I think it will help, but I think it will help. Well, it's not like there's going to be an immediate change in anything. I think it's going to help over time. It gives us a different level of credibility. It might help you. Maybe if you're in somebody's Final Three, maybe it helps you get over the top. Maybe it helps you get on more guys' lists. We'll see. I think that will manifest itself over time.
When you look at the way Penn State has defended you in the past, I mean, last year's games, you lose one, the other one went to overtime. They've been real physical at times. Did you learn?
I don't think it's any different in our game, and that's the way they play.
But compared to the Maryland, was pretty physical with you, and it stumped you at times. Do you think they learned something from that game that they can apply to this one, especially on offense, to get away from some of the physical play?
I don't think they're the only two teams that play physical. Teams will, they still change defenses. They'll still play some three-quarter court. They'll still mix in some zone. But you look at the numbers. I mean, they're going to foul a lot. They're going to crash. There's going to be a lot of activity around the glass, and you got to be ready to play that way when you play that. And that's been established, for the last 4 or 5 years, and that's how they play. So you got to get ready for it.
You think this is your best defensive team here?
I think if you look at the numbers, it probably is. Yeah. I mean, I think we had the ability a couple of years ago to really defend when we wanted to, but we also, I think, tended to rely more on our scoring and our ability to outscore you. And that's how we got in a little trouble at the end of the season. We played fairly well in those games that we were losing, but we were getting outscored. And those games were fairly high scoring. So our guys understand how to rebound. I mean, it was one of my concerns coming into the season. We weren't not a big team that started. Our starting team's not big. And we do bring some size in off the bench. We can go with 3 front court guys if we want to. But we rebounded the ball pretty well too.